Welcome back to Talkers. Today we got a special guest with us, Logan. He's actually the one who does all the art for us, our logo, our people. This is a piece he's done as well. Some Invincible, if you can see that up in the corner here. But he's a great artist. He's got his own page.
Natural at tattoo.
Right up here as well. Yeah. He's got his own tattoos.
True.
Luke, the other host, also has a tattoo by him.
Where he at?
He's probably working.
Yeah, probably working. Yeah, dude. Yeah, he's got some crazy lore right now. But
we'll link his stuff for you guys. Check out his Instagram. Anything else you got? Go ahead, plug yourself.
Free promo. We actually have some merch coming out soon for very select people that want. But yeah, his art will be on it. Yeah. But we are here to talk about Invincible. The first 3 episodes dropped. The world is taking it by storm. Mm-hmm. Everyone's talking about it, and we are talking about it on the wall because we are talkers on the wall.
We do be talking on the wall. Is this a wall?
Anything's a wall if you think about it.
It's true.
A metaphorical one. Yeah.
But first 3 episodes dropped. I watched most of them. I didn't quite finish the 3rd episode, but I've read the comics, so I'm caught up story-wise. What did you... I want to hear Cole's thoughts, because he hasn't read the comics, and he's also a big hater on Invincible.
No, I'm not
Let's hear your thoughts.
Yeah, no, I'd say just straight up, I know we're going to break them down episode by episode. If I had to give, a full, review on the collection of episodes that we got, I think it does what Invincible does good and average. It's a 7.5 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
I wasn't blown away by anything. Granted, it is start of the season.
Yep.
But we're 4 seasons into this. We can expect a little bit more at the start of seasons. But I will say though,
episode 2 is pretty strong.
That's why that was literally what I was about to get to. But I just think the dynamic between Nolan and Paul is just so good.
Yeah. Wait, no, Paul.
Paul, wait,
what the hell's Paul?
Who's
Paul? Yeah, who's Paul?
Alan?
You talking about
Alan? Yeah.
Hi, I'm Paul.
Paul is Debbie's love interest.
Whoa, bro loves the cuck stuff going on.
Yeah, exactly.
I see.
Yeah,
But no, Nolan and Alan are a great tag team.
Yeah.
Definitely the best duo in the comic. They've translated it super well into the show.
True.
And I love just watching them go around to the planets, gathering up forces to fight against, the Viltrumites and all that.
I think a big part of this episode of, Talkers on the Wall will be probably episode 2, Glaze, and then what's to come.
Yeah, I do. They have added a little bit from the comics. It's been a while since I read it, but I don't remember the whole, Star Trek parody being in the comics. So I think that's new.
Yeah. That was in the comics, but, very
subtle,
yeah.
Yeah, very brief, probably.
I think what the show does that the comics don't do is it expands a lot on the story, on elements. In the comics we didn't see Oliver get his new costume, but in the show we did, and I think that added a lot more to his character. And then even the 3rd episode where he's fighting the dragon with Invincible, it builds that
the
brotherhood. Yeah. It builds that. Especially stuff that happens later on in the comics. I'm not going to spoil anything, but
kind of like a Targaryen almost.
No.
But also, I don't know if we saw, because I know it wasn't in the comics the whole upbringing of Nolan, when he has to fight his parents and his mom is totally just wants to kill him, and his dad is that's so bad. And then we definitely, I don't think maybe it is just something I forgot, but I don't remember Nolan being a survivor of the virus before. I know he survived the whole thing, but in the comics they never really went into who was infected and who survived it. It might have been a little bit more vague, so that was also cool to see that he actually has had the virus before and just toughed it out basically. And getting to see Thrag for the first time as well was super cool. We get to see him in all of his glory. Invincible's kind of got that little bit of not janky animation, but they've got to dumb down the art style a lot from what the comics is. So when you compare it to something like the comic panels, it's never going to be quite as good, but it was still very cool to see.
I will say, I think the animation is perfect for what Invincible is. Mm-hmm. When you read the comics, you think Ryan Otley. Ryan Otley is very detailed with his art. Mm-hmm. but I think it originally started with Cory Walker. Cory Walker is very like simplistic with his art, and he did like the last issue of Invincible and like a bunch of like key issues. So I think it's cool that Cory Walker gets his own version of like the whole series in the show, and I think that's cool.
I don't think the simplistic designs or anything are an issue. Like, one of my biggest detractors just always have been for Invincible is that the animation definitely just doesn't get as much money as it should. Just like there are like a few things I've already seen on like TikTok, Instagram Reels of like the walking cycles look a little bit janky, and then like there's that scene of like Eve's coffee cup like dissolving into the coffee drain, and they're like, well, there goes the animation budget basically. But also the one thing that was really bothering me is I think it was also in episode 2. It's when they're fighting the crazy aliens. I can't remember their names, but when Nolan and Alan are on the like frozen planet,
the Ragnars.
Yeah, the Ragnars, and it was doing a lot of like Nolan was like dodging, and all you could really see was like a POV shot of like the alien like throwing scratches, and then like they do like the thing where it only shows like the Thragar throwing his tail out, and it doesn't show like the impact. You just see Nolan going flying, and it's very like back in the day they used to do that because there's like censorship issues. They're like, oh, you can't show like people getting hit by certain things.
It's like Dragon Ball GT.
Yeah, but now it's just like, I know they're using it to save the budget, and we've already seen that there is going to be amazing animation when it comes to, the later episodes, like those impact frames with Thrag that are going to be coming up. So I'm hoping that maybe they're just like booking it for this second half of the season that is still coming up. And even like season 3, that last episode with the Battle of Conquest, beautiful, amazing. Like, so I know they do kind of hold it in for like those key moments, and so I think that's why I'm not like too mad about it, is because I know they're like consolidating their resources. So it's definitely not bad, but being a fan of like anime and things like that, and the work culture is so different, but like you see the crazy amount of animation and detail they get in every episode, and then like you come back over to Western animation and you do get a little bit of disappointment with that.
I think another good point to bring up is the episodes are like an hour long.
Yeah.
And I feel like with anime we have like 20-minute episodes.
True.
And like less seasons. I feel like this show is going to shoot for like, I think he said like 8 seasons.
True.
So that's a lot of animation and time to spend on it. But I do agree, like some of the shots, like just straight PNGs floating across the screen. And
you got that One Punch Man season 3 animation.
Yeah, and like
sliding down the hill.
I'd rather have like some of those scenes and then have like, like the Conquest fight was like incredible. Like even like the hair animation, like everything's just so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like also when Braden kind of compares it to anime, it's not like anime doesn't have those moments. Though.
Yeah, it just depends on the show. Newer gen anime, you get studios like Mappa, Wit, but I mean, the thing with Western animation, we don't have these large corporations to solely support animation, and the work culture is so much different, so like I said, that's why I'm like, I don't hold it against Invincible.
You just grade down a curve a little bit.
Right, exactly. It's like, I know I can't hold it to that same standard, but you still, you can't help but feel a little bit like you want more.
Yeah.
But for what Invincible is, I don't think it's gotten any worse from season 1. I know a lot of people are like, oh, the shit is going such... But I don't think it's any worse. Definitely in parts, I think it's way better than it used to be.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, going into it, I know we talked about animation quite a bit.
Yeah.
How are you guys feeling about like character, like trajectory, as far as how season 4 is going so far? For you have Eve losing her powers, and now like breaking news, she's preggers. And then like you have the whole Mark having like his more like primal like Viltrumite.
Right.
I'm just gonna kill you because you're gonna be a threat.
Yeah, I mean, I love the direction that Mark is going in. I mean, me and Logan have, we've read the comics, so we know what's to come. So we can already, like, we're kind of grading it on what the finished product is, so it's a little different. Yeah. But I do like what they do with Mark, and I also love characters like Robot, Monster Girl, Eve. I mean, like I was kind of talking about in the trailer, or like the teaser, we were kind of like, the some things that just like Western comics do, DC, Marvel, and even Invincible, they like throw in these like soap opera storylines, and me personally, sometimes I'm like, I don't really care about all that, but for the most part, I think Invincible does a great job with like juggling multiple storylines at the same time. So I love watching, even like the stuff with, because a lot of the like the organized crime stuff is new to the show. So I really like watching that because it's all new. It really just deepens the world. And it's like, I love kind of checking in with them, even though it's a very small part of the world. Like, there's way more important things. It's still fun to, like, see it progress and see how it's affecting the city a little bit, you know? I don't really have any problems with the characters, personally.
I think it's perfectly set up, like, from what they're doing. And I think the season's going to end on a really good note.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, the comics, they really go in depth with every character. Every character has a meaning. They're not just there to, I don't know, screw around. But yeah,
are you saying that they do, like, in the show that they screw around a little bit more?
No. I'm saying like in the show and in the comic, they're both like really good at making each character like have a purpose.
Yeah, I agree.
And I like the kind of writing that Kirkman does, where he has this universe and like he calls it Invincible, and like it feels like every little side character and every little story continues throughout the whole series. So like the story is invincible, and I think that's cool.
Yeah. Trying to think, there was something I was gonna say. I mean, what do you think? I mean, one of the most beloved side characters, Rex Splode, you can give a shit about him. Do you care about any of the side characters?
I mean, it's like, again, you know, y'all really like the side characters, and that's fantastic. Oh God. Please. You have to believe me. No, yeah, I mean, for the side characters of Invincible, I cannot lie. There is definitely times where, like, the new Guardians pop up. I want to care.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Yeah.
Like Monster Girl, like, the whole, like, shebang. It feels, like, very just dry. I will always appreciate creators for trying to make the effort.
Yeah.
But I'm almost thinking that we're wasting a little bit too much time on these people. I mean, and that's, if you're gonna say like, hey, like, just wait. I mean, it'll pay off.
I mean, I think if you don't like them now, you're not going to like them.
Yeah, I mean, it's just.
So I don't like. Yeah, I think just. You're a lost cause, is what I'm saying.
I'm fair. I mean, yeah.
I feel like, I feel like when you look at it in like the current way, it's like you're not gonna like them, but like Invincible as a whole, like as a complete story, like seeing them from start to end, and then like continue even after the story.
Sure.
I think that adds a lot, but like you do have a point. Like I feel like we do spend a lot of time with characters, and like a lot of times it feels like we're not really getting anywhere with them, but. I mean, I thought Rex Splode was a lot better done in the show than in the comics.
Oh, for sure. They actually gave him a character. Like, he was in it, like, a few, like, issues in the comic. And it's, like, I only really started caring about him after he, like, survived the whole lizard attack in the comics.
Yeah.
I was like, he's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was, like, a moment where I was like, oh, shit, like, this is cool.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then, like, he, you know, he dies, and then, and the whole, like... you know, Invincible comic thing and stuff like that. And there are sometimes too, and I think it's just like, you know, just like how comics are, sometimes things happen that are just so random that you're like, what? Why did this happen? Like, for instance, the electricity girl, like, she is going to eventually come back, but right now it's so random. You're like, what was that?
That's kind of how I felt like within like these first 3 episodes, like besides episode 2, it feels like it felt like D&D random encounter. It's like you have like weird ass reptilian dude shows up, and then
Dinosaurus is a mainline villain.
But
I do think each character that shows up, like each villain, is a representation of like what Mark is going through in his head. Like this will eventually pay off in terms of like later down the road when he's like dealing with something, or like he's in a state right now where he's like, what do I do? Do I take the easy route, solve the problem, kill the bad guy, get it over with, or do I put him and lock him up?
Yeah. And I think it's a good point with the lightning girl, because she's like damning Earth to like save her own people type of thing.
I mean, Mark literally brings that up, and like, so you're gonna kill all of us?
Yeah.
And
she's
that
makes sense.
And I feel like that's that little hope of like Mark still has that human side, and he's like, I'm not gonna just like, I don't know, like, I could see where you're wrong, but I'm not going to kill you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I also think it comes from a product of the times, because the Invincible story is an older one where comics, like, there is definitely that mainline story, but they also had a little bit of the villain of the week syndrome where, like, sometimes random things would just happen.
It felt like I'm not saying it was this bad at all, but, like, low key, like, CW Flash, just where you get, like, the random,
right,
like, it feels like,
CW early seasons though. CW Flash.
It's true.
Pretty goated though.
1,000 likes, we'll do a review.
I do it for 5.
Yeah.
We are the Flash.
Could you give me 1 like?
But no, I agree. I'm really just. I mean, are you excited to keep seeing where the story is going, or are you basically just watching now because you're this far in? Like, would you watch this out of your own free time if, like, we weren't going to review it this week?
I mean, yeah, I definitely wouldn't have watched it all in one day, if that's what you're asking. But I mean, I watched, like, season 2 and, like, and then we watched season 3 in Florida.
Right.
So, like, it's, like, I'm definitely, like, streaming along, and then when, like, a really cool, iconic moment happens.
Yeah.
I mean, because season 1, I think season 1's still my favorite season out of all of them. Just because of that, like, I don't want to say it's carried by the final Omni-Man Mark fight, but it's just, like, the build-up of, like, where, like, people are unraveling how he killed, like, the Guardians. And I just think, like, Omni-Man was such a great antagonist. And it's cool. And I mean, it's fun watching the Viltrumites. They're very, like you mentioned in our preview, like, Saiyan-esque. Yeah. So it's, like, fun to see that archetype. And I think it's done in a fun, tasteful way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I would say, yeah, I'm excited to where it's going to go. But I mean, I don't know if I could ever see this show becoming like a 8.5 and up. Like, I feel like it has, like, that 8 out of 10
There are definitely,
ceiling.
like, some certain storylines where, like, at its greatest, I think Invincible is just, like a peak Western comic for sure. But there are some storylines where I'm like, damn, shit sucks. Like, I won't get into it because it's a lot of the future arcs, but there is, like, and they do a lot of, like, there is essentially, spoiler warning a little bit, I'm not going to get too much into the details, but there is essentially a time skip within Invincible. And the way they go about it, I thought was just so strange to me, at least. Like, because when you pull back and look at it from, like, a narrative point of view, it just didn't make any damn sense on why it had to happen in that way, I guess. I don't know. For me, when I was reading the comic, I was like, it shocked me that it was a time skip, and then I was like, why did they time skip it this way? I don't know. But, I mean, in regards to the time skip that's coming up in the future, Logan, did you think that was, like, a crazy, like, plot point? For me, when I was reading it, I was like, this is fucking nuts. Why are they doing this?
It's hard to talk about it with not spoiling.
Right.
I would just say at this point, full future spoilers, like, be one. You're one.
I will say, I think Invincible is the best superhero comic.
Yeah. You think it's beaten any, like, DC or Marvel, like,
100%.
comics? Like, Civil War, Return of the Dark Knight?
Yeah.
But those are, like, arcs in themselves.
No. Civil War is like a storyline though too.
Yeah, but I'm
saying,
saying...
or like the Dark Knight Returns is like a whole Frank Miller story. Yeah. Like they have like the New 52 and stuff that goes on forever, but they also have individual stories.
Fair. Okay, I didn't know like exactly how you were gonna pinpoint that, but okay.
Yeah, I think like
or like the Killing Joke.
I've been getting into more like independent comics and stuff, and I think those work so well because there is a beginning and an end.
Have you read Sandman?
I have not.
That's pretty good.
I should probably check it out
too.
Yeah.
But
like with Marvel and DC, you have like, I don't know, like it just like it's a reboot every time and like it resets. And it's like, I feel like we're not getting anywhere with these stories.
No, for sure. And I do think that like, we'll talk about it afterwards. Like as far as that, but yeah, I mean, first 3 episodes, I'd probably give them a solid 7 out of 10 for me. They were decent. They set up the story to where the season's going to go. I'm very excited to see, the rest, because we know from the teaser that We're going to be getting a lot more space travel. I can't wait for Mark to actually get back to Nolan and be interacting with Alan. And I also, like, we haven't seen it yet, but for Oliver to be interacting with Nolan as well, because we'll be getting that a little bit this season. That'll be really interesting to see. And I can't wait for people's thoughts on the story as well. There's like a lot of power scaling that's going to come up, and for like when it comes to like how strong the Viltrumites are, that's going to happen this season as well. So that'll be a lot of fun. I think we're going to get a lot more Goku, discourse. Though? See, that's like one of the biggest things, because like, so they're like, they don't have laser beams, but I don't know.
Eat this Kaioken Kamehameha.
That's true.
Hey, Space Racer. True. That pistol, dude.
That's true.
That's basically
that was cool. And now going into like episode,
he's one of my favorite like side characters.
Episode 2, Glaze. Yeah. Like I mentioned before, random D&D encounter.
Yeah.
Like I loved it how like I almost called him Paul again, but Alan and Nolan.
Yeah.
How they're just like, yo, we're gonna cover like
we're forming a team. I'm not joining your team.
I'm kind of in your team.
I'm on your team.
I'm not on your team. I'm kind of in your team. But like no, them like going like across like the galaxy to like find like the like you're basically finding the magic item to beat the villain.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that's where like the Star Trek ship kind of worked.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, here's your vehicle. Roll some dice now. Like, I think that's cool.
As far as like the Invincible like side characters, it's funny that you say that Space Racer is your favorite, because I always thought that dude was a bum. Like,
he's not my favorite, but
okay.
Yeah, I just think he's like one of my favorite characters in the comics that really didn't get a lot of time to. Like, shine.
He doesn't get like any attention. Yeah. So whenever he pulls up, he does like his gun thing, and like I'm always was like, he's a bum. He's in a fucking spacesuit. How is he still alive? This dude is a bum.
He's just so bad at it. He gives off like Ghost Rider vibes.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. I can't wait for one of my favorite side characters is gonna be introduced soon too, because they're just like a G that comes out of nowhere. It's Tech Jacket.
Yeah,
they're really cool. I can't wait to see how they kind of like incorporate. I know they've got their own comic too. I never went and read it, but it's another, I think, by the same author.
Yeah.
Another Kirkman story. So, and that one's kind of like a Blue Beetle-esque kind of thing, whereas this one is like Superman. But yeah, and I hope they bring in Wolfman, because that was another part of the comics where I was like, what the fuck is this werewolf doing in Invincible?
Yeah,
because there's a werewolf superhero basically that Mark has to help for like an issue or two, and it's so like weird and it's very wacky. But I hope we get to see it in the show, because it was wacky in a good way. Yeah. But yeah, do you guys have anything else?
No, I mean I think it's status quo. It's good.
Yeah.
Good fiction.
Yeah. Happy
to see people are enjoying it. I mean,
Give us your thoughts. Tell us what you like or didn't like. Really, I want to see what people are not liking. Just to see kind of like what that, because I know a lot of people are just hating the hate too.
Really, honestly,
because like, well, once a show gets so popular, they're like, this show is so overrated.
See, I'm almost getting the flip side. It almost becomes like the cult fan base, to where they're like, if you think that this is a 7 out of 10, you have horrible media.
You're just saying that because nobody agrees with you on your Rexplode
That's
take.
not true at all. Like, literally, I'm going through TikTok and Insta, and they're like, this is like the greatest. It's so peak, bro. It's so peak.
Well, get down in the comments. Yeah. Show us if you guys are a crazy cult or if you're reasonable fans. Let us know.
You can suck it. All right.